morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks. And this is my very first MotoVlog. So welcome to my first MotoVlog. And the purpose of this MotoVlog for today anyway is to give my first impressions on my new Fuel Moto tune that I got through Fuel Moto and uploaded through the DynoJet PV4, which I also purchased through Fuel Moto. This is my very first ride. I just uploaded the tune, I don't know, an hour ago. And I've been waiting for a little bit of a break in the weather. Today's kind of an overcast day. I don't think I'm gonna get rained on. I can feel a little bit of mist right now in the air, but we're not supposed to get a heavy rain, so I'm taking my chances here. But anyways, I have been wanting to do a tune on this bike for a couple years, and I didn't know what direction I wanted to take. On my last bike, which was a Triumph Thunderbird, I did a tune. Is this guy gonna let me go? Thank you. I did a tune after doing a bunch of mods, and on that bike I had done like a big bore kit, and I deleted the airbox, and then I got a Power Commander 5, I think it was, I don't remember. And I got it dyno tuned by one of the tuners during Laconia Bike Week, and it just never quite felt right. And so I ended up having to get it dyno tuned a second time locally, and then it was fantastic from that point on. So, but I ended up paying for that tune twice because the first one didn't work out. And this time around, I haven't done a whole lot of modifications to my Indian Chieftain. Actually, let me back up. I want to tell you what my bike is. It's a 2022 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. It's got the 116 cubic inch motor. I have the Indian Stage 1 slip-on exhaust. And I have the Indian forward-facing air intake, the free flow air intake. So I haven't done a whole lot of mods. I did gut the cat on this, so that I deleted the cat as well. And when I say I gutted it, what I did is I cut the cat open with an angle grinder, tore out all the guts of the cap, and then I welded it back together. So, and that's as far as I've taken this bike. I do not have cams on it. I haven't done any other modifications, and I was fairly pleased with the Indian tune. It wasn't perfect, but it was okay. It wasn't so bad that I needed to go out and do a tune like desperately. So I've been mulling over for the last year and a half what I wanted to do as far as tuning. Did I want to, get a Power Vision 3 and dyno tune it? And everything that I have read in all of my research so far is that a lot of people have gotten their tunes through Fuel Moto and they've been very happy with it. So I finally pushed myself over this past week or two, and I ordered the Power Vision 4. And the reason I got the Power Vision 4 instead of the 3 was because it just seemed easier. You can, everything is done right there in an app on your iPhone. Basically you buy the Power Vision 4, Fuel Moto mails it out to you, and then when you get it, you have to marry it up to your bike. There's a firmware update you'll have to do right out of the box. Everything was very simple. You literally plug in the Power Vision 4 to your data port, and then you just open up the DynoJet app, you download the app to your phone, you scan for devices, it immediately recognizes it, you sync it up and connect it. It will prompt you to do a firmware update, and once you do the firmware update, there'll be a handful, I think there was 5 or 6, maybe possibly 7 different tunes available that were already in the cloud from DynoJet. I tried a couple of those while I waited for Fuel Moto to send me this tune that I'm riding now. I tried a couple of them. There were 2 tunes particularly with DynoJet that worked okay. I'd say they were maybe slightly better than stock. One of them actually felt pretty good while riding, but every time I would do a cold start, it would throw like an engine cylinder misfire code, and once the bike warmed up, the code would clear after, like, you warm it up for a minute or 2, shut it down and restart it, and the code would just clear itself. And then the tune itself ran fine, but for some reason it was throwing a misfire code. But anyways, enough about the DynoJet stuff. Let me get to the Fuel Moto tune, because I got that tune last night. I submitted for the tune late Friday of last week. Monday was a holiday, and then I got my tune last night, Wednesday. So it took about 2 business days for Fuel Moto to turn around a tune. I didn't get it till 10 o'clock last night, or I would have tried to do this ride yesterday. But I got up this morning. I had an easy day for work today. I was working from home. So I got up this morning, and as soon as the kids were off to school and my wife was gone, I went out to the garage and I flashed the new tune from Fuel Moto. I immediately noticed the bike started right up. There was no misfire code. There was no hesitation on startup. Like, it was an easier start. Sometimes on cold starts, this bike would have a hard start, and it would like turn over for a second or 2 before it actually started. And that was the first improvement I noticed right off, is that it started easy. So far on this ride, the throttle response is really good. I was wondering if I was going to have to do like some data logs and send it to Fuel Moto and have them do like a modification or do any updates to the tune, but so far it's riding really nice. The throttle response is really good. And this is just a leisurely casual ride. I'm not like overdoing it, but I haven't felt any hiccups yet. That's something that happened when I did the mods to my last bike, the Triumph, is there was always this random hiccup that I would get. As I rode, it would ride great for a while, and then every half hour or so, I'd get this little like flub in the exhaust. It would almost be like a little, almost like the exhaust was burning off a little buildup, and I'd get this little hiccup, and it happened like once every 45 minutes to an hour or so. I haven't felt that yet. It feels like it's idling good. It sounds good. When I get up a little further, I'm gonna get up to in about 15 minutes or so, I'm gonna get up to it's not an interstate, but it's sort of a highway, I guess, called Route 1 here in Massachusetts, and I'm going to be able to open it up. At that point, I might throw it in sport mode and see how sport mode feels. Right now, I'm riding in standard. In fact, I'm going to throw it in rain mode real quick, just to see what rain mode feels like, since today's a rainy day, or an overcast day if we get rain. So I just switched out of standard. I'm now in rain mode. Yeah, you can feel it. it does what rain mode did before the tune. It sort of underpowers the bike a little. You know, makes the acceleration a little more linear, a little slower to accelerate. Thank you, sir. Saying thank you to the guy that was letting me into the roundabout. Yeah, it feels linear. It feels good. I mean, I thought rain mode, out of all of the stock tunes, I thought rain mode actually felt the best. I mean, it was underpowered, but the tune itself felt the best. It was very smooth, very linear feeling. So out of all of the stock tunes, I thought the rain mode tune was probably the best one. Though it's underpowered, so you never ride in rain mode unless it's raining. So, all right, so rain mode feels good. I'm gonna go back to standard right now, just because, like I said, rain mode is underpowered. But yeah, you can definitely feel the tune, the difference in the tune. It's definitely better. So once I get on to Route 1 and I try out the sport mode, I'll probably shut the camera off, because then at that point this video is just going to be kind of long. And what I'll do is I'll make my way back home, and then I will sit down and I will go over my impressions and whether or not I think the tune is worth it. Of course, this is just a 15-20 minute ride, and you know, if anything changes as I go on with this tune, you know, I'll update you in a future video. Some of the benefits that Fuel Moto described to me when I was inquiring about it were that I would have better throttle response, that the engine would run smoother, the engine would run cooler. That's a big thing, because anybody that has an Indian with this Thunderstroke motor knows that it runs hot. And it's run a little bit cooler since I decatted it, but you know, anybody that knows this bike knows that the engine runs hot, especially down by the header pipe on the right-hand side by your right ankle. It can get hot. So if you're riding with lowers, man, your right ankle can get cooked. But anyway, I'm just gonna ride, and I'm gonna stop talking for a bit. I'm gonna ride so you can, you know, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the bike, but I'm gonna just ride the bike and let you hear it. I'm only getting into 4th gear right now based on the roads that I'm riding, so it's not like I'm really pushing it here, but there's the Bobcat tractor dealer here on the left. At this next light, if I were to take a right, then about maybe 2/10 of a mile up the road is where I bought my new Kubota tractor. Bought both my Kubota tractors, but so not too far away for tractor service if needed. Man, I'm really digging this tune. The bike is riding really smooth, smoother than it has since I bought it, and I've had it for coming up on 3 years now. The real test will be whether or not I need to send Fuel Moto, or whether I need to request a revision of the tune, will be on a hot day. Right now it's only about 65 degrees, it's overcast. But as to whether the motor is, you know, running cool or not, and whether I have any hiccups on when the temperatures get hot. So going to be passing my Indian dealer shortly, probably in about another mile and a half. I'm not going to bother to stop. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Yeah, this tune is definitely an improvement over the stock tune, no question about it. It's definitely better than the handful of DynoJet tunes that were up in the Power Vision 4 cloud there that I tried while I was waiting on this tune. Definitely an improvement over those as well. Is it as good as a dyno tune? I don't know. It may or it may not be. But I'm not looking to make this a super performance bagger or anything. One thing I learned from doing all the mods to my last bike and trying to make it as performance oriented as possible is that dyno numbers and getting the maxed out horsepower and torque that you can get on the dyno is not always the best result. Rideability, sometimes rideability is more important. And, you know, like when I dyno tuned that bike up at Laconia, they got me like a huge improvement on the torque and the horsepower specs on the dyno, but the rideability on the bike was not good at all. And then when I had it retuned by a local tuner who spent way more time on it, he focused more on making the bike rideable, and the horsepower and torque numbers were lower than the original dyno tune, but the bike rode better and it felt better. And so rideability is more important, in my opinion. I'm going to flip it into sport mode because we're on a road that I can kind of open it up. Oh yeah! Holy shit! Sorry, excuse my language if there's any kids watching. Whoa! If you get a Fuel Moto tune and you're in sport mode, you better hold on to the seat of your pants. My God! Wow! I mean, I know sport mode was pretty torquey from the factory, but whoa! I was not prepared for that. Whoa! I think that's a undercover cop that just passed me on the left, so I better be careful. I don't want to get pulled over. My God, I'm gonna get on the highway up here because holy shitballs, Batman. The torque is unreal. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, sport mode is worth the cost of this tune alone. Wow. That was unbelievable. Oh yeah, you can hear it too. You can hear there's more grunt in sport mode. When you rev the throttle, you can hear it. Wow, I was not prepared for that. gas right there. Wow, that is some serious torque. Yeah, man, if you put it in sport mode after doing the Fuel Moto tune, you better hold on. Holy shit. Actually, I'm gonna pull into this gas station here. I was thinking I was gonna get on the highway, but I think I'm just gonna go back the way I came, because the weather is not looking great, and I don't want to be caught in some nasty weather. So I'm gonna actually kill the video for now, and I'm gonna head home, and then I'm going to sit down on my porch, and I'm gonna do a recap of this tune, and I'll let you know my overall impressions, first impressions, and yeah, we'll see you in a short while. Okay, here we are. We're back from the ride. I did about a 40 to 45 minute ride round trip. I recorded the first portion of the ride, as you just watched, and now we're back sitting on my front porch. So let's talk about the DynoJet Power Vision 4 first, and then we'll get into the whole Fuel Moto thing. So when you get the Power Vision, what comes in the box, it comes in this box here, and there's going to be two sleeves. Let me disconnect this so I can show you what it looks like. You're going to have two sleeves. There's going to be two cables, one in each sleeve. This is the tuner. I can only assume that this connection maybe is for a Harley, but you'll need this adapter to connect it to your Indian. So basically you just connect these together. This plugs in to your data port on your Indian, and then also in the box is your receipt, and then you're going to have this piece of paper, which is basically just some instructions on how to get started. It's kind of like a little quick start guide, I guess. And it basically tells you what to do and how to obtain your tune from Fuel Moto. So what I did when I first got it is I went out to my bike, I connected it. As soon as you connect it to your bike, you have to download the app to your phone, obviously, the DynoJet app also. But once you connect it, it's going to ask you to do a firmware update. So that's pretty quick. That only took 2-3 minutes, I think, at most. Once you do the firmware update, you connect the Power Vision 4, and then there's going to be a little token that you have to claim within the app. That's going to marry the tuner to your bike specifically. So once you do that, there's going to be some tunes available direct from DynoJet's database. I did try some of those tunes initially just to see how they were. They were okay. They really lowered my expectations looking forward to the Fuel Moto tune, because I initially thought the Fuel Moto tune was going to be readily available once I connected, but it was not. What you have to do is, on that little piece of paper, there's a little link. You have to put that link into your browser, web browser on your computer, and go to a little forms page on Fuel Moto's website where you have to plug in all of your bike information, your year, make, model. You have to put in your invoice number from your receipt, Fuel Moto receipt, so that they know you purchased the tuner through them, so that you can get your tune through them at no additional cost. And yeah, so then it takes, they say it takes 3 to 5 business days to get your first tune. And then if you need any revisions on your tune, they say please allow up to 10 days for any revisions. I don't think I'm going to need any revisions. Time will tell. But let's talk about the tune specifically. Wow. My expectations were kind of low after trying the DynoJet tunes, but holy shit, Fuel Moto's tune is phenomenal. The throttle response is crisp, it's smooth, all of the modes work the way they should, and all I have to say is sport mode. Holy shit. You probably saw my reaction if you watched the video when I put it in sport mode and got on it. Wow. Sport mode was already had a little bit of a wow factor stock, but it was kind of jerky and almost not usable, so I never rode in sport mode. But now sport mode is really smooth, and it's not jerky, but it still has that oomph that you like, that just that torquey power that you want in a motorcycle. Wow, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of riding in sport mode now. So anyway, my impressions of the Fuel Moto tune are totally 100% worth it. You know, could you get a better result from a dyno tune? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on the tuner, I guess. I mean, my last bike, I had to get my last bike dyno tuned twice because the first dyno tuner up in Laconia kind of botched it. It was not a good tune, and my bike ran like garbage. And because they were a traveling tuner, I wasn't able to bring it back to them and get it corrected. I had to bring it to another local tuner who spent more time on it and got it right, but you know, I wasted my money with the dyno tune up at Laconia. So I would never do a mobile tuner again at one of the rallies for that reason alone. Is if you have a problem, they're traveling tuners. You're not going to be able to bring it back to them unless you live local to wherever they're headquartered. But so yeah, maybe you'll get a better tune out of a dyno. Maybe not. I mean, I'm pretty convinced that the guys at Fuel Moto know what they're doing. This tune is right on the money. So would I recommend it? Yes, I would. So I won't keep you guys any longer. This is probably already close to 30 minutes on this video. So thanks for watching my first impressions of my Fuel Moto tune. Thanks for watching my very first moto vlog ever. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing. So until the next video, thanks for watching.